Let's have a look at Minicuts. So Minicut is basically an aggressive cutting phase designed for rapid fat loss. Generally used for physique purposes, so not really too often in sport. It's for dropping body fat before an event or a photo shoot, or you can use it to prolong a mass phase by controlling fat gain. The key is a short duration and a significant calorie deficit. That makes up the Minicut. So we want to drop weight quickly, particularly body fat, which is why it needs to be quick. If we do this for a long time, we run the risk of losing muscle. Okay, and we can do rapid fat loss without really having a negative effect on metabolism. So with length, 2 to 6 weeks, has to be brief to minimize the risk of muscle loss, and it's rapid fat loss in a controlled manner. So calories need to be at least 40% for our maintenance level. You can go down to 60, but that's pretty intense. Rapid fat loss, because if you do go lower, you can get muscle loss or a ton of fatigue. It depends on the person and other things, but 40% generally seems to be a pretty good metric for it. With nutrition, we want to have high protein to have high nitrogen synthesis and be in a positive nitrogen balance, and nutrient-dense whole foods to maintain energy and manage hunger. But you will be hungry in a Minicut. There is no way around it. Okay, and our training should be more lower volume, because volume is the key thing that's going to push us over the edge. But we can focus on really driving up that intensity and really avoid excessive cardio, because we're already in a deficit. We don't want to risk anymore. Steps are perfectly fine and highly recommended, but you don't need to do high intensity intervals or anything like that during Minicut. Now, the possible downsides of Minicut: low energy, poor sleep, decreased motivation to train, and possible muscle loss. Now, with the possible muscle loss, we can mitigate that with a higher protein and the short duration of it. But the other ones there, we can't really do too much about for that. It is a side effect of the Minicut. So when a client wants to achieve a result, we need to look at not only how can they achieve the result in the fastest way, but what are the downsides and the consequences that they are willing to accept. So knowing all this information allows you to tell your client that stuff with a high degree of accuracy. And when you've done that, if they know the downsides of it, they can then make that decision in an educated way. So we limit the risk by no longer than 6 weeks. We maintain training, we maintain protein, and we reduce cardio. It makes it very, very simple to minimize risk in a Minicut. So volume stays low. Low rep, high weight sessions like the 4 to 8 rep range seems to be perfect for a Minicut. Cardio, again, no serious stuff, no high intensity intervals. You can do some light zone 2 work, and then recovery as best as you can to maintain training performance. So we want to do it for rapid fat loss for a physique goal or to reset body composition. For body composition, you might do 1 to 2 weeks, and you might just 2 to 3 weeks, and you might just say, I want to lose 3 kilos of fat. And you can do that very quickly. Now, 2 to 6 weeks, depending on goals and progress. So if I was having to get down for a photo shoot, I would just go for 6 weeks and accept any possible muscle loss, and know I'd be a pretty miserable person for that 6 weeks. But again, the outcome has been decided to be worth it. As something to do with a general population client, not necessary. For a client who's quite overweight and wants to lose weight quickly, doing a Minicut at the beginning can be a really good tool for them, because it'll help them get in touch with hunger and actually be able to handle hunger and move forward. Cut calories by 40% to reduce fat loss, and it'll do it really quickly. Maintain strength and minimal volume. Low energy, poor muscle loss, poor sleep, and reduced motivation will definitely be side effects. We do accept rapid fat loss, but also some downers too. And then we want to limit it to 6 weeks, maintain a high protein intake, and focus on strength with minimal training volume.